in 2021, since he's only fought once this year. I know that next week at the UFC Fight Night we've got Jarod Cannonier versus Kelvin Gastelum. That's an interesting fight, to be honest. I'm pretty sure since Cannonier, he broke his ulnar against Robert Whittaker. I believe that was in the first round actually, and then followed to then lose against to Robert Whittaker. Taking a bit of time off, it's obviously healed. He's in fighting shape, and then we've also got Kelvin Gastelum. His last loss was Robert Whittaker.
Mm-hmm.
So they've both got the same last loss on their record, and honestly, it's.
Hold on.
It's
Sorry,
a damn.
I don't think it was. I don't think Kelvin Gastelum lost to Whittaker last.
Yeah, he did.
I think it was another. I think there was another fight before, which he had after that. Just let me double check because it's just so hard to remember.
No, it was Robert.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was Robert Whittaker.
Because remember, Paolo pulled out.
That's
'cause he
right.
was
Yes.
sick.
Yes, correct.
And we never got to see Kelvin Gastelum fight Robert Whittaker originally for the belt. That's when Kelvin had to fight Izzy following the hernia that occurred with Robert Whittaker. So they finally got to fight, and then Rob just pieced him up, just dominated him. Yeah,
That's right. Yeah, he out wrestled him as well.
yeah, just dominated him in every field, on the feet and on the ground.
Yeah.
But Cannonier versus Gastelum is very interesting.
Yeah.
It's a bit quick for Gastelum to be fighting Cannonier.
Yeah, considering he fought in April.
Yeah, it definitely feels quite soon, but I mean, he's damn good. He's a damn good middleweight. Very close to becoming a middleweight champion. Cannonier, he was arguably considered one of the dark horses of the middleweight division too. And that's coming from Israel Adesanya, the champion's mouth.
Yeah.
But I don't know who wins this fight, to be honest. I really don't know. I'm not too sure at this point.
I don't really have much argument for either fighters because they both need to win this. Especially Gastelum, who's won one of his last 5. He lost 3 fights in a row to Izzy, Darren Till, and Jack Manson. But then again, those 3 are huge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, huge. And then you lose to Robert, who's a former champion. So he's lost one former champion and 1 current champion, and then 1 number 1 contender as well, Darren Till.
Yeah.
So they're not bad. They're not awful losses. But the thing is, Jarod Cannonier is kind of like fired up a little bit because he had everything going for him, and he almost would have fought for the title because he
Had not have lost to Robert.
Huh?
Had not lost to Robert, yeah.
And it was by decision as well. And he broke his ulnar in that fight. So
Checked a head kick.
yeah, and it was from literally blocking his kick, literally saving him from a knockout. So it did cost him. It's weird to put my finger on this one, but I'm gonna have to say, I think I'm gonna say Gastelum by decision. That's what I think. Because if off the top of my head, if I were to recall Gastelum versus Robert and Jarod versus Robert, I feel as if Gastelum had a little bit more of a chance compared to Jarod. That's how I take it. If I can recall those fights, I feel like it was more of a domination of Robert versus Jarod, but also again that could come from the fact that he broke his ulnar. So, but that's just how I see it. I do feel Gastelum being fired up because he needs this much more than Jarod does. Because again, when you lose 4 of your last 5, that puts a question mark next to your name. And if you could lose this one, well, Dan's gonna be like, "Hey man, look, your contract's almost up. Giving you one reason why I shouldn't release you and all that sort of stuff." And then Gastelum has a lot to learn on because this is an even better Robert compared to the one that Jarod fought. So
I think that's not a bad train of thought. I just think I know I did bring up that their last loss was Robert Whittaker, which meant they'd fought. Their last loss was one of the most high caliber middleweights out there, other than Izzy. But the thing is, that could just be how they match up with Robert. It won't matter how they match with each other or with a different opponent. I think Cannonier takes this. He's got knockout power. I think this could be too soon for Gastelum to fight again. And I think, although Gastelum has fought some of the very best out there, I think it's a slippery slope for Gastelum right now. I don't know. I rate Cannonier's athletic ability a lot, especially in the scrambles and things like that. I know Gastelum will probably he can put his head down and go for that left hook, or he'll try and take you down, right? And I think Cannonier's takedown defense is pretty good. I think Cannonier will probably try and catch Gastelum on the way in. Maybe slip out, knee in the face, and then try and follow up after that. But I think he's going to counter Gastelum as he comes in. I think Gastelum's going to try and, because it's maybe one of his last fights on his contract, if it doesn't go his way, right? I think he'll be desperate, which means he's not going to be standing up and trading. He's going to take a nice easy win, which would be wrestle, take him down, and basically, try and dominate him on the ground. If that happens, all right, that's going to be an issue for Cannonier, right? He's really good on his feet. But I think Cannonier, I rate his athletic ability. I really think he'll be able to move out of the way, keep his distance. If Kelvin's really desperate to get that takedown, he'll be ready to squash it and knee him in the face and then continue from there. I think Cannonier, and I think Cannonier by decision. Either maybe like a left high kick or a knee on the way in. I think Cannonier needs to catch Gastelum on the way in. When Cannonier goes in and he's very quick with his double leg takedown, right? Or if he's in a really deep single leg, right? Cannonier has to catch him early, and you need to catch him on the way in nice and quick. But that guy's a fast twitch guy. He's fast as fuck. So I think Cannonier will beat Gastelum. I think so. I think it's just a slippery slope for Gastelum, and it'd be interesting to see, because he's going to be desperate now. If you've won one of your last 5, you got to be desperate, really desperate. So I think Cannonier wins in that regard. Yeah.
Anyway, so